Hey, what's going on, ladies? Did you see the title? Why am I a bitch at times? That's the topic at hand. And this is a juicy one. Hold up. Let me grab the link just so I can copy and paste it and put it inside of the group. This is going to be a good one. Hold up. I clicked the wrong thing. Bear with me, people. Bear with me. How are you all doing today as you're coming in? Oh, some of you all are going to have to just go ahead and say, look, this is me. This is how I am, and be cool with it. A lot of you are not. And you're a little too nice. You're a little bit too nice. So I titled this Why Am I a Bitch Sometimes because I noticed that I have these really, I'll just call them funny relationships with women as a coach. We don't like to be stereotyped as being emotional and all of that stuff. We say we want to get out here and start our businesses and do our thing. And, we're going to do it no matter what. And we're relentless. We have faith beyond measure. We start talking big shit. Then we get out here in these entrepreneurial streets. And what I realize is that most people don't have half as many balls as they say that they do. And this is no disrespect to anybody, but I want you to understand that in your perspective field, you feel the same thing. So for instance, if Kami was to come in here, a lot of people like to say that they bilingual and they don't hardly know shit about Spanish. You know exactly what it is that I'm talking about. They can say a few things, they don't really understand the culture. And if they were dropped in the country, even though they may find a way to muster up some words and communicate, they may be lost and they may even make some mistakes and do some things that could be detrimental, to their stay in that country. It's like somebody, if Imani were to come in here saying, "Oh no, I have a great marriage. I know what to do in marriage," and low key behind closed doors, not only are they miserable, they are doing some things, and the relationship is toxic, but they can't recognize it because the dude isn't punching them in their face, or because the husband's a hard worker and pays all the bills. So some of us, we can talk big shit. But what I have found with most women is that when it comes to this arena and when you get into my lane as it pertains to entrepreneurship, that the vast majority of you don't have half the balls that you say you do. And what ends up happening in a lot of my relationships with women is when they first meet me, because their spirit is needing a boost, a confidence boost. Confidence, not just in processes and strategies and systems, but also confidence in themselves. They don't really have those balls to say, you know what, I'm just going to jump out there and do something. Like what, for instance, what many of you all do, you start your business and you do it on your own, and you may invest a little here and there, but you'll go out there and you'll be like, okay, I'm going to put this price point on it. And you lowball the hell out of yourself. Now, me lowballing myself when I first initiated my product, it wasn't because of a lack of confidence. You know what I'm saying? It was because I did what I thought I should do, and I investigated. And I'm like, okay, if there's some people go as low as 50, and on average, people are somewhere between 80, 120-ish, and then there's some people that's as high as 250, and I don't know anything about it. That was what I believe was exercising common sense to say that, hey, hold up. I should now, I haven't done this that long. I'm still learning the industry, but I'm not going to put myself at the bottom, but I'm definitely going to go for 100. But when that first person paid me and they gave me their credit card so fast, I was like, oh, I obviously did not charge enough. I literally doubled my prices when the next client came, and she paid for extra sessions. She's like, I'm loving the way this is going. And at $200 a session, we were meeting every other Saturday. She's like, next month, can I pay for the other Saturdays? I'm like, is she paying me $800? And this one wasn't even business related. So then I went to 600. And so whatever it was that I felt that I needed, I immediately, or when I made observations, I immediately made adjustments. I launched webinar after webinar and people didn't show up. I had no guidance. I was doing everything by myself because I was kicked out of a program. I even pretend like I still, had people there, attempted to try to still replace. As a matter of fact, a Facebook memory from May the 25th popped up where I had tried to do a webinar and the sound went out. Matter of fact, it was a teleseminar for those of you that don't know what that is. Imagine listening to the summit on a telephone. And so I feel a lot of fear. I have different anxieties that come up, but I jump. I am a jumper. And some of you say, "Oh, I'm a jumper too." Yeah, you jump with limitations. Like I'm a jumper that I'm like putting money on the line, time on the line. Yeah, I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna feel the fear and I'm gonna jump, but I don't think that, I would invest this or that I would do that. If you all understood the kind of jumps that I've made and the levels of fear that I faced, you would be like, it don't take all of that. And so when women come to me, this is what I know to be true, that energetically you want what I have. You don't have to necessarily say what's in your bank account and I want that, but you see a level of success. You see a plethora of clients around me saying August is the best coach, blah, 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 blah. And you're dying to at least, consistently have sales come in. You see some of the price points. You look at the different way I move and you're like, I want that. But getting that means getting to the core of who you are. And so for me, I can't let you be who you are, because if being who you are was enough to get you there, you'd already be there. So I get to be dubbed as the bitch because I'm going to tell you the truth and let you know that you're not standing in your power. You got a smart ass mouth. You are not coachable. You're defiant. You're scary as fuck. You're holding on to old shit. And I would gladly be the bitch in your life if that means that you're going to finally have to bump heads with somebody who ain't going to ride your job. Because let's just be honest, the vast majority of you have accomplished some great things in your life, great things that I would definitely celebrate, definitely things that I teach you to celebrate to help you with your mindset. But I'm also not just going to sit there and be like, oh yeah, well, since you accomplished those things, you're good, because what does that mean in the business world? And so it's funny, right? Now, I appreciate this client because at least she was honest with me. But we went into a session and she was like, you usually give it to me hard, August, but before we start our session, I need to talk because you did a video. I just think that you were mean. And I was like, I was mean? Like, did you hear what you said to me? And then I have to respond back to what you said to you. And I could have been a bitch. I could have been in my feelings, but I made a comment off of sheer evaluation. I wish you could have heard yourself. I wish there was a way you could have went back and replayed. I wish we wasn't talking and that you could have went back and replayed what you said to me when I responded to you. But when I walked her back through it, and then she was like, well, I guess the reason why I said this was because of this limiting belief. I said, you guess? Well, it is the truth. I don't like to do this because of the limiting belief. And I said, do you see how you were getting ready to make me the bitch? You were getting ready to make me the asshole. You were going to make me the bully, all because your mouth was running off and you were not speaking to your greatness. And from there, when we did have the session, I edified her, I spoke to her, and I let her know what she needed to know. It is amazing to me how some women will get upset. They'll be in my coaching programs and they will do shit. They don't even realize that they're antagonistic, that they're stubborn, that they're difficult to coach, and that I'm not going to be the one that's going to take their shit. It's funny. Like some of you need to listen to this. You'll talk about how your mom or your sisters don't support you, how your husband is an asshole, you don't really have great friends, or you'll say that this is really good, but you feel like people take advantage of you or use you, and you're always the go-to person, and you're always doing, but birds of a feather flock together. And see, when you meet someone like myself, or it could be another individual who isn't doing all of those things to you, you begin to reflect those behaviors towards me. So now you're the one who's got the persnickety mouth and the attitude and that's always trying to get and doesn't want to, give. And, you're the stubborn person that doesn't listen or doesn't seem to care. And so as a coach, rather than being my feelings, I'm just going to tell you straight up that you tripping. See, a lot of you, what you want is you want the secret sauce. You want the secret sauce to success. You want me and any of these other business coaches, marketing strategists, whatever title they have up in here, a confidence coach, accountability coach, task coaches, productivity coaches. You just want us to give you a list 1 through 10, say, bam, this is what you need to do, and you're going to be so fucking successful. Failing to realize that if having the steps was all you needed, then all of us would go to Google University and build outstanding businesses. When in actuality, the only thing you need is for someone to drill into your mindset. I just literally enrolled into a 7-figure mastermind. And the first set of trainings that we did, I've listened to trainings that are over 2.5 hours long. It's not strategy. It's all mindset. It's all thinking. It's all verbiage. It's all valuable. Because there's only so many emails you can send. There's only so many templates that you can have. There's only so many ads, that, you can run. The strategy is the strategy, but what difference does that make if your mind isn't in the right place? Somebody can have the perfect strategy and get you a bunch of leads, but because even if you know how to sell, your confidence and your conversation could be so off that you lowball yourself, and you could still end up building a business that you begin to loathe because you're not getting paid enough for all you do, but you set yourself up because for some reason you shrunk and you were like, hey, I got this deal, and it's usually, $2,000, but if you sign up now, I'll let you do it for $8, because you just listened to their conversation and assumed that they didn't have enough money to pay you. And so for me, I'm not here to create women that are going to sit in their permanent state of mediocrity. And I'm not getting ready to talk to you and tell you what you want to hear. And I'm definitely not about to tell you what you want to hear the way you want to hear it. You need to be jarred. You need to be shocked. You need to be called out so that you can face your giants. That's what I have to do on a consistent basis. So just like the example when I gave to Camille, with, people coming to her talking like they know Spanish, it's like, no, you don't. You don't know Spanish like I know Spanish, boo. And I'm here to tell you all don't know mindset like I know mindset, boo. That's why the majority of most businesses close within the first 5 years. And that's why there's only 1% of entrepreneurs who are 7-figure earners. I am that one. I guarantee you. Because see, what I don't do is I don't give back talk to my coaches. I tell them the anxieties I'm feeling, I'm very real with them about how I feel. But if they say, do this, I'm like, I'm going to do it, but I'm scared of shit. What a lot of you all don't realize is that your subconscious mind is totally jacked up. And I'm going to give you an example by showing you how, even with my subconscious mind being wired for this journey of success, how there's always some little shit. You always got to go and clean up. You got to get in the nooks and crannies. Who in here are the baseboard cleaners? And, some of y'all say y'all OCD, but y'all baseboards nasty. No, you're not. I'm like, wipe the baseboards. I like everything to be clean and no dust. When I signed up for the mastermind that I'm in, there were 2 levels. There was the inner circle level and the mastermind level. And I did not meet the criteria for the mastermind financially, but I was given the go ahead by the person that runs it that says, but you're there. Mentally, you're there. You have a lot of value to bring to it. And if you want it, you can do it. But I'm like, oh Lord, it's like buying 2 cars or some shit. Yeah, I know how I feel about them people that have you buying a car or a house for their program. But, in my non-naive state, I see the value in the program and what it is that I'm getting. And when I was talking to the lady, I'm like, okay, this program is going to pay for itself. I know that it is. I now know who my clients are. I have the proper products. I've sold it at this rate. I'm going to be pushing myself to another level to sell at a higher rate. I got this. I'm investing in myself. And so there's always an ROI. But if I'm real with you, my brain, and I'm a Capricorn, I'm just sitting here thinking like, make it make sense. And I know the numbers are not going to make sense, but what is the price? What am I going to be paying? What are the terms? How long can I go out? Do I do it once a month? Can I, do it 3 installments? What does this look like? And then I said, because by hook or by crook, I'm going to make it happen. That's not some shit that August Crenshaw says. I don't say that. I don't by hook, but that lets you know that, hey, Queen, we can only get by with flattery. This is so true. If we all hear the cheers and then the critiques, we stay stuck in the lower vibration. Absolutely. But back to my hook by crook statement, I don't say that. I remember hearing that as a little girl, and it's not even something that I used to say all the time. But where did that come from? See, if I was working with a client and I was like, excuse me, where'd that come from? No, they didn't come from. I'd be like, you can't say that. Because that's what the lady said. She said, excuse me, ma'am. She said, no, we don't talk like that. She's like, look at me, look at you. We too old to hook. Okay. We know, but wait, we don't need to be hooking, and we definitely ain't no crooks, right? Ain't no crooking. And my immediate response to her, because I had a pen because I was taking notes as we were talking, as I'm making a mental note and I'm writing that down, no worries. I said, I will not say that again. I don't get that level of submission from my clients. Some of them I do to a degree. But most of you, I could have done one of these. Oh, no, no, no. You know, I know, yeah, that's from when we was growing up and that's the kind of stuff we say. But all I was basically trying to say is that no matter what it takes, I'm going to make it happen. I didn't do that. I listened to someone who had been in the internet streets that's older than me for 22 years that has taught other people how to make $1 million companies. So how dare I have the audacity to try to justify saying the way I want to say, the way I want to say it. But see, some of y'all get mad at me. Y'all put comments on the post and then I come in here and do a video and I tell you that the shit that's coming out of your mouth is garbage. And I know that you're happy because you graduated, you went to another level, you've had a level of a mindset shift or something like that. But then I'm sitting here telling you, but there's greater. And so if God didn't want you to hear that there was greater, he wouldn't have you in the midst of a coach like me to tell you. So then I end up being the bitch. And it's okay. Because I pay attention to you guys. I pay attention to how you move. Some of you all, your behavior is so fucking predictable. There's a client I have right now. When she's happy and she loves my videos inside of my coaching group, she says, hey, Queen, faster than I can even say, hey, we live on Facebook. I'm like, how does she get the notification and how is she typing? Because, you know, it's like a 30-second delay. How I see, hey, Queen, before I even started the video. But whenever I'm making a video that's addressing her issue, even when I'm not talking directly to her, then she just listens. She don't say shit. Okay, so she got to process her feelings. But see, she's still always, hey, such and such, whatever I call her to me. I don't switch her name. I don't do that. You all don't even realize the little bitty emotional things that you do. That doesn't mean that she doesn't think I'm a queen anymore, but that you guys got to stop being in your fucking feelings. You want to be successful and you do not understand. Excuse me, how many of you all went to the summit? Did not Lynn teach you that your emotions are connected to your fucking money? Your emotions are connected to your money. And when you in your feelings and you're not listening, you're going to get out there and you're going to make decisions, you're going to do shit, and you're going to set yourself up for failure. And some of you don't understand because you're still successful at this moment. You're going to wonder what happened 30, 60, 90 days, 6 months, a year from now, not realizing that something that you did now that your coach is trying to tell you not to do is going to end up blossoming a seed that is going to be adverse to what it is that you actually desire to happen. I can see that, and I know because I've already fucked up my business. That's what I've been honest with you all. I have literally shut my income off from making decisions that were emotion based. But you don't want to listen. So when you like me, you comment like crazy. When you don't say shit. It's like you gotta force yourself, to show up. You guys do weird shit. And trust me, I know the difference between being stuck and can only listen and, at least going through it. There's a difference. Trust me. Don't ever let somebody ever let you think that you can't read the energy, because I can read the energy. I know the difference. So my thing is, all you have to do is, instead of saying, August, you're a bitch, in your head and in your spirit, is just say, you know what, August, the way you talk to me, it seems like you want more from my business than I do. You want me to make more money than I do. Can you just kind of back the fuck up? And see, then I would be like, my bad. I did not realize I was letting my desires for you override. Let me slow my ass down. But that's why I always ask people questions like, what do you want? How do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself? So that the advice can be tailored towards the expectation. Because I wouldn't talk to somebody who just wants to make a couple $100 in their business the same way that I would to somebody that wants to make 5 figures in their business. I absolutely would not. I absolutely would not. You said I take God and scared as fuck, but your sight is better than mine if I'm coming to you. And I hate to, I hate to say it because I don't want anybody else to think that they haven't been great clients. But when I did work with you, Kami, I've said it multiple times that I've not worked with you. You were me. You are a replica of me. You would be scared and you would tell me that you were scared, but you would do it. We would have intense moments that you could have backed away, but you still hung in there. And it's not that many women that can say that they've done that as well. Some of them can say, oh, I would take it too, but the level of execution has not been there with any other client the way it has been with you. Like, do this, do that, do that. And that was, and I'm a real coach, you guys. I'm real honest. When I had my conversation with Kami before she started working with me, I'm like, tell me what you want. Now let's look at this from a realistic view and why this will or won't work. And if you want it to work, let's look at what it's going to look like for you to turn up the heat, because now you understand what you're up against. I'm not saying what is impossible, but I'm saying that there's going to have to be a spirit and a work ethic that resides in you, and you're going to have to fucking trust me. She said yes. And I said, okay. So I just want you all to understand, when you get out of your feelings, you're a bitch to somebody else too. Because your level of expertise in what you do, you have people coming to you because it's a natural mechanism in us to want to look like we have our shit together. So like I said, I don't know if you were on here earlier, Kami, that's like somebody coming to you saying that they need to brush up their Spanish because they want a promotion on their job. And they're going to be so busy trying to come to you, trying to act like they got their stuff together and don't want to be humble. And it's like, excuse me, you decline. You don't know Spanish like I know Spanish. Chill the fuck out. You all don't know mindset like I know mindset. You can go anywhere and get business strategy. You can Google that. You can Google a template of emails, but you might be worn with your authenticity and can't attract your ideal client because you're scared to say some shit because of what people will think and how you will be perceived. But work with me and I guarantee you that won't be a problem anymore. So do you really want someone to tell you like it is? Or do you want them to tell you like it should be for you to feel good? I don't know. All I know is that I'm not that coach. And because I know you all have mindset glitches, I just keep on pushing and do what I do. I just sit there and look like, oh my God, if only you knew what it really looks like to work with some of you guys and your stubbornness. Flat out, real talk. So that's my nugget for you all today. It doesn't have to be me, it's somebody else. If I'm not your coach, it's somebody else out there. And you know what? And let me just say this before I go. You'd be like, no, I'm not like that. Let me tell you something. When you stop showing up and you say, oh man, I'm going to do what my coach told me to do, but I got distracted by life, distracted by my husband, distracted by my kids, and you don't execute the plan, that's your subtle way of rebelling. You're not feeling the fear and doing it anyway. You're not executing the plan. You can't sit here and want to make multiple 5 figures in your business and you're always going to be distracted by deadlines. But look, I did a live video in my group today while I was outside walking at 4 something this morning, fussing at them, telling them, at the end of the day, I said, like ET says, everybody want to be a beast till it's time to do what beasts do. Everybody want the millionaire lifestyle, but you don't want to put in the millionaire work ethic. You all are looking for a way for this shit to get easier. I've been in a place now for, I don't know, I guess it's damn, because it's been, we passed almost at the 6-month mark. So it's been since last year. People can't get on my calendar before 11 o'clock unless I put them there. Maybe I make a mistake on my calendar, forget to switch and stuff, but I don't do calls before 11 o'clock anymore because the morning is for me. Meditation, prayer, reading, time with the kids when they wake up. It's a beautiful thing to have your income where you really start creating your life on your terms and not just finally being happy because you make money to pay your bills. But just as fast as I've gotten conditioned to having all of that time for myself, I don't have to work harder. I need to work smarter in my business. But now that I'm in the mastermind, all of the trainees, like I listened this morning up at 4 something, walk for about 15 minutes, really brisk, fast walk at 4 something this morning, meditated, did a journal, did some listening to some motivational shit on YouTube, reading this amazing ass book, showered, whatever. And then I sat down and listened to a 2 hour and 33-minute training, to be exact. So what was time to speak with clients is now time to enhance my inner game. And I'm sure that there'll be other videos coming up that, because I've looked through the modules, that will be more strategy, but they're not short because they're very intense and they're very in depth. The work is always going to be there, but it's going to transform into something else. And that's not the hard part, doing the work anyway, because you're doing what you love. But you don't finally jump from one space to another space and then say, oh, I only work 4 hours in my business. No, you might only serve your clients for X amount of hours in your business. But if you're really building a business where you're going to an upper level, then the inner work and working on you is going to take up all that time you used to be trying to figure out copy. You used to be trying to figure out video topics. You used to be trying to design all of your graphics. And guess what? When you do like I've done and you've hired someone else to help showing up, you can't afford to not show up. And some of you will be like, nope, that's why I show up in my business now, because I didn't hire me a social media strategist, or I didn't hire me at this. And let me tell you something else. I believe in paying top rate. I don't believe in paying people the same shit they could get paid if they go and work for somebody else working a fucking job. So not only do I have to show up, I have to keep leveling my game up, because I need to make sure that I own not only now someone else's lifestyle is connected to my business structure and my price points. All of this shit is interconnected. We don't have time for you to be being scary. Get out your feelings. So yeah, I'm not the person that you're always gonna like. And unfortunately, some of you all, you're going to be shitty towards me. And by the time you realize that that's what you've done and you come back around, because I'm not mad at you, I'm going to smile and I would be like, okay, but moving forward with me would not be the answer. Things do not always stay the same. How would you feel if I told you that I ain't going to never do no summits no more? So yeah, oh my God, I just love August, all the value she brings, da 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 da. I bring a whole lot of value for you all to half-ass even care. So I love y'all. Y'all need to really pay attention to how you're responding and how you're behaving and how you're treating people who have your best interest at heart and also have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that you need to get to your next level. I'll be a bitch in your eyes. I don't care. And if that's not the derogatory term that you're using, trust me, you got one. Asshole, overbearing, lack of understanding, whatever. The bottom line is if you've given me a title that's out of alignment with the person who loves you and is compassionate and is very dedicated to your success, you out of order. And I'll be that. But I'll also remember that. And when I go forward, I'm gonna be like, it was nice knowing you. Because at some point you got to put on your big girl panties and grow the hell up and say, it's not them, it's me. It's not them, it's me. So that's all I got for you, queens. I'm gonna let you all go. I was on here probably a little bit longer than I anticipated, but I want you all to have a nugget, some things to think about. And I'll be back in the group after. I'll probably do some more videos sooner than later, but I'll be back in the group after I, get some things solidified with my new coach and know exactly what I want the rhythm to be like in the group. The questions are still coming in for you guys to, kind of focus on and think about them and, have some points of reflection and stuff like that. You guys still have the freedom and liberty to connect with different people. I still encourage you. A lot of you were connected in the summit. Did you go to their profiles and follow them? Send messages to people, have Zoom calls. This is a great place for you all to build relationships with people who could be the next person that is there in position for your next best move for your business. So I love y'all. I'm gone. Deuces.